United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Article 211, Pollution from Vessels, 1. States, acting through the competent international organization, or general diplomatic conference, shall establish international rules and standards to prevent, reduce and control pollution of the marine environment from vessels and promote the adoption, in the same manner, wherever appropriate, of routing systems designed to minimize the threat of accidents which might cause pollution of the marine environment, including the coastline, and pollution damage to the related interests of coastal states. Such rules and standards shall, in the same manner, be re-examined from time to time as necessary. 2. States shall adopt laws and regulations for the prevention, reduction and control of pollution of the marine environment from vessels flying their flag, or of their registry. Such laws and regulations shall at least have the same effect as that of generally accepted international rules and standards established through the competent international organization, or general diplomatic conference. 3. States which establish particular requirements for the prevention, reduction and control of pollution of the marine environment as a condition for the entry of foreign vessels into their ports, or internal waters, or for a call at their offshore terminals shall give due publicity to such requirements, and shall communicate them to the competent international organization. Whenever such requirements are established in identical form by two or more coastal states in an endeavor to harmonize policy, the communication shall indicate which states are participating in such cooperative arrangements. Every state shall require the master of a vessel flying its flag, or of its registry, when navigating within the territorial sea of a state participating in such cooperative arrangements, to furnish, upon the request of that state, information as to whether it is proceeding to a state of the same region participating in such cooperative arrangements, and if so, to indicate whether it complies with the port entry requirements of that state. This article is without prejudice to the continued exercise, by a vessel of its right of innocent passage, or to the application of Article 25, paragraph 2. 4. Coastal states may, in the exercise of their sovereignty within their territorial sea, adopt laws and regulations for the prevention, reduction and control of marine pollution from foreign vessels, including vessels exercising the right of innocent passage. Such laws and regulations shall, in accordance with Part 2, Section 3, not hamper innocent passage of foreign vessels. 5. Coastal states, for the purpose of enforcement as provided for in Section 6, may in respect of their exclusive economic zones adopt laws and regulations for the prevention, reduction and control of pollution from vessels conforming to and giving effect to generally accepted international rules and standards established through the competent international organization, or general diplomatic conference. 6a. Where the international rules and standards referred to in paragraph 1 are inadequate to meet special circumstances, and coastal states have reasonable grounds for believing that a particular, clearly defined area of their respective exclusive economic zones is an area where the adoption of special mandatory measures for the prevention of pollution from vessels is required for recognized technical reasons in relation to its oceanographical and ecological conditions, as well as its utilization, or the protection of its resources and the particular character of its traffic. The coastal states, after appropriate consultations through the competent international organization with any other states concerned, may, for that area, direct a communication to that organization, submitting scientific and technical evidence in support and information on necessary reception facilities. Within 12 months after receiving such a communication, the organization shall determine whether the conditions in that area correspond to the requirements set out above. If the organization so determines, the coastal states may, for that area, adopt laws and regulations for the prevention, reduction and control of pollution from vessels implementing such international rules and standards or navigational practices as are made applicable through the organization for special areas. These laws and regulations shall not become applicable to foreign vessels until 15 months after the submission of the communication to the organization. B. The coastal states shall publish the limits of any such particular, clearly defined area. C. If the coastal states intend to adopt additional laws and regulations for the same area for the prevention, reduction and control of pollution from vessels, they shall, when submitting the aforesaid communication, at the same time notify the organization thereof. Such additional laws and regulations may relate to discharges or navigational practices, but shall not require foreign vessels to observe design, construction, manning or equipment standards other than generally accepted international rules and standards. They shall become applicable to foreign vessels 15 months after the submission of the communication to the organization, provided that the organization agrees within 12 months after the submission of the communication. 7. The international rules and standards referred to in this article should include inter alia those relating to prompt notification to coastal states, whose coastline or related interests may be affected by incidents, including maritime casualties, which involve discharges or probability of discharges,